Welcome to Coreum Concepts. Thanks for stopping by the channel today. Please leave a like and a comment if I can provide you some value. If not, then leave a comment and tell me why or what you'd like to see on the channel. Always building and improving, and I appreciate all the comments and support I've been getting here so far. Working really hard to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm trying different softwares to get these live streams going in preparation for that, and it's been extremely frustrating. Invested hours and hours and just not getting the results that are user friendly with my internet that I have here. Anyways, I'm working on it, guys. I appreciate your patience, but yeah, I'm working on a few things to help get us to that 1,000 subscriber mark and get this channel really taken off. Got some exciting programs coming up, some exciting interviews and announcements, so please stay tuned, hit that notification bar, and let's get into it here. Coreum's under a bit of pressure here lately, down 3.75% on the last 24 hours, down almost 9% in the last week, and year to date down 43%, currently trading at 26 cents. That's taking a look at it on the hourly chart, or sorry, the 1 day chart. Sologenic, it's up 2.26% today. Year to date, down 15.2%. XRP, trading at 52 cents, showing up strong, 2% up on the day. Last month up 39%, and the year to date at 53.8%. Bitcoin also strong this year. Last 24 hours, 2.47% up, 11.79% on the week, and 82.55% on the year to date. The MMRI is creeping up a little bit to 226. Nothing aggressive, but it is pulling back up here from a low of about 208 back on April 6th. So let's just keep our eyes on that. But again, it's not aggressive moves at this point. So just keep in mind it is still in a high risk trading environment. And the overall market I missed there. Total crypto market cap's 1.23 trillion, up 1.58% in the last 24 hours. Gold's trading just above 2,000 at 2004. And silver's $25.18. The DXY is pulled up a bit again here at 101.74. Heading over to MintScan dashboard for Coreum. It's nice to see we still have around 149.66 million tokens bonded. Current inflation rate's 10.79%. Staking APR 34.57%. Had a total of 53,000 transactions, and the community pool here is currently sitting at 227,000. And taking a closer look at that, it's the Coreum community pool, and it currently has 227,000 tokens in it for value of $59,575 US. So it's nice to see that growing, and look forward to the ability to see what proposals come to utilize those assets down the road. Currently looking at the total chain value. Obviously at this point, just Coreum is reflecting on that value, and in-chain supply 504,550,000 tokens. Current value of $132 million. And taking a look at our validators, I know it's 31 of 38. Normally that's 32. Something to note. Let's see if we could take a look here. I just noticed it now as I'm doing this, so see if we can figure out what's missing here. In order of lowest fees, again, 007 Coreum still holding the top at that 0.5%, BitTrue close behind at 1%, Synchrotron 2.5%, Coreum Services at 4%, Solo Nation at 4%, and Core Heroes at 4.5%. And I have a whole host of others coming close behind at that 5% mark and on down. And really nice to see such strong Coreum community support at the top of this list here still. And heading over to the list by voting power, Cosmos Station still at number one spot, 18,396,000 tokens locked up. Zen Lounge close behind at 17,512,000. BitTrue 16,716,000. Heading back to the bottom of the list here, we got Solo Nation holding that last spot, 128,482 tokens. So his uptime's been good along with everybody else's. It's important we give him some support. It's got a very competitive rate there. Rise to Earn, really good community project there also, 520,000 tokens. So let's try and get these guys up over that million. And when you're redelegating your rewards or your next airdrop that comes up here, just take a look at the bottom of this list and see if there's anybody we can help out and help decentralize this blockchain as much as we can. And 007 Coreum Validator posted, hopefully this short guide on how to redelegate is helpful. Important to note, first claim your rewards on your current validator. Otherwise, you'll lose your rewards when you switch. So you don't have to unbond your tokens. The only thing is once you move it, you might not be able to move it to another one for 7 days period after that. But there is no unbonding period. But again, caution before you switch or you're delegating to which validator. Before you switch validators that you're delegating to, make sure you claim your rewards. But if you have any doubts, head over to 007 Coreum Validator on Twitter here. They set up this nice guide here for you to follow, and it's pretty straightforward. So Coreum community ideas and opinions on the Leap wallet. I've had some feedback questions on my YouTube channel and Twitter here. Same thing. I didn't know the answers of them. I could only go by my experiences. So at this time, I haven't been using it, so I don't have a lot to contribute to this, but I have heard your guys' concerns and questions. So here, there will be an opportunity to get those out. In this case, Leap is put out there. What your craziest ideas and wildest features? Contribute to our roadmap here, Leap Wallet, feature requests. So reach out to them on their social medias. I listened to an AMA that they were in a couple weeks ago, and they said that's the best way to get feedback to them is on social medias. The team watches it closely. So luckily enough, we have AMA coming up with the Coreum team. So that's exciting to see. April 19th, 7 p.m., 10 a.m. Pacific time. So learn from both teams about their journey building on the Cosmos SDK, product updates, and their vision for the future of digital assets. Leave your questions and comments and set a reminder. So again, if you have any questions, concerns, give them a reply down here. Better yet, attend the AMA and see if you can get your questions answered there. It's important that we all contribute to each other's growth and set ourselves up for success, and the people building on our chain, we set them up for success. So it's important that we give our feedback and constructive criticisms and keep it professional and so we can all build and grow together. Zen Lounge tweeted out here, Cosmos surpasses Ethereum in the number of daily active developers. So that's pretty cool to see. Cosmos has come a long way in a short period of time. So you see that Ethereum's number 2, Polkadot, Kusama, Internet Computer, Cardano, Solana. So it's interesting to see, like it's not the hype that you see on Twitter and YouTube about these projects, but then when you look at, what the developers are actually building on, there's a lot of names in here that stick out that you don't hear much about. So something to keep your eye on. Flare. Why is Sologenic the only crypto project with a custom badge on Twitter? I don't see Garlinghouse with an XRP badge or Vitalik with an ETH badge. I don't see any other projects with this. What's up with that, Bob Ross? So you can see they got the Sologenic badge beside there. CZ has the Binance. So it's good to see that Elon and Twitter are keeping their eye on the crypto space and And it's going to be interesting to see what comes of those, and why the Sologenic team was so fortunate to get those so early. And Dr. Martin Heisbeck, unprecedented external factors such as weather, diseases, and pest control or infestation are major challenges confronting the agricultural supply chain. In the agricultural and food sectors, companies use tools, applications for agriculture, insurance, smart farming, food supply chain, transactions of agricultural products. To successfully confront the numerous problems arising in the agricultural sector, a strong, reliable supply chain is necessary. These challenges can be turned into opportunities by utilizing digital technologies to boost agricultural productivity and efficiency with blockchain. And I couldn't agree more. This article here that's quoted, Canadian and U.S. agriculture exporters and digitizing their shipping data on blockchain. Something I'm going to dive into a little further here in another episode. But very interesting read there, and a topic to explore further. And Circle posted the new global operating system for money. The key takeaways: we're on the brink of the next phase of the internet as more businesses and institutions begin exploring the benefits of enterprise-grade blockchains. These blockchains are forming a new cloud infrastructure layer where businesses and developers can store, access, transact, and build with digital dollars and other data tied to real-world assets like houses, cars, event tickets, customer loyalty points, and even proprietary internal data. The open-source nature of digital dollars like Circle's USDC enables the creation of brand new financial services that can enhance inclusion around the world and bring more people into the global economy. So this is an interesting read. One thing I want to explore further in one of my deeper dives is what's seen here is possibly a good thing. The next generation of enterprise tech, the corporate world has moved to the cloud en masse, reaping incredible benefits and creating new ways of doing business that has spurred remarkable breakthroughs in product development, operational efficiency, and many other areas. Security gains, easier compliance, cost savings, mobility, increased collaboration are just a few ways the cloud has enabled companies to advance their ability to compete and serve customers, and more of the world's data streams move online. The shift to cloud shows no signs of slowing. Corporations now store 60% of their data on the cloud, with around 9 in 10 large enterprises adopting multi-cloud architecture, and 76% of organizations worldwide use at least one shared and one private cloud. I think this is where they're going to get the on and off ramp, guys, is the cloud. And so if they can control what happens on the cloud, because the cloud is fairly centralized, they control it all. And so I think we really got to watch how this develops on the cloud, and see how the technologies that we are researching are working with that or working around it. I'm actually more interested in to see what technologies are not exposed to that type of infrastructure. So just something to think about. Just want to throw it out there, and I'll dive into that more a little another day. Forbes posted the AI 50. Artificial intelligence is very much in the forefront these days on even non-tech type people, and so it's important that we keep track of what's going on. It's an industry that's going to change really fast. It's going to have profound effects on society and how we interact with each other and with business and with our finances, everything. So it's just something that we should all keep an eye on. And it's just interesting, some of the new and noteworthy from the top 50 here. A company called Adept. This unicorn startup is working on a digital assistant that can do all your clicking, typing, and scrolling for you. Its AI model aims to convert a text command, such as find a home in my budget or create a profit and loss statement, into actions carried out by your computer without you having to lift a finger. Backed by strategic investors Microsoft and Nvidia, Adept has announced a total of $415 million in funding. This in citro is focusing on the pharmaceutical industry. Obviously, that's a big market. And a project called Runway. Think it easy to use Adobe for artists. That's what Runway, valued at $500 million, is building with its suite of 30 AI-powered tools. Software can conjure images and videos based on just a few words and change visual styles on the fly. Runway's tools were used to build visual effects for some scenes in some recent movies that won some awards. And Synthesia, create videos in 120 languages. Simply write a script or have different AI program write one for you. Pick from one of 100 synthetic avatars and voila. Instant video. Synthesia, which was founded by a team of 4 academics and entrepreneurs in 2017, has raised $66.5 million from investors including Kleiner Perkins, Google Ventures, Mark Cuban. Big outfits like Reuters and Accenture are among its 35,000 clients. So you can see, guys, there's a lot of money and focus being put into AI, and gonna get into this a little deeper in the episode here, but I think there's some exciting things coming for the Coreum network, specifically on the AI front. I posted this, but since I've added, there's been some more clips taken out of the congressional hearings today with Gary Gensler. Now I'll just play a little portion of this one, and I'm going to close out the video with like 5 minutes of Mr. Emmer just roasting Gary for 5 minutes straight. So yeah, we'll dive into that at the end.
Do you think it serves the market for an object to be viewed by the commodities regulator as a commodity and the securities regulator to be viewed as a security? Do you think that provides safety and soundness for the product? Do you think it provides consumer protection? Do you think it serves the value of innovation? I think no should be a very simple answer for you here.
I think
that uncertainty is bad, is it not?
And I think that Congress has said that there's one agency, the Securities and Exchange Commission, under this committee.
And you won't answer my question, and you're the head of that agency. So give me a break. Come on.
I'm answering it in the generic because you would not want me to speak about any one set of facts and circumstance.
Okay, so, but you've already spoken. Have you said anything about Bitcoin?
My predecessors and the agency itself has spoken to that.
Okay, but you're not willing to do the same about Ether. Okay, so let me just step back. There's a lack of clarity here in the marketplace. Can you at least agree to that?
I think that the clarity is there. The law is clear.
All right.
There's a group
so
of individuals who rely on
let me be explicit about this. The market doesn't see it. Your regulatory actions and the CFTC's regulatory actions say that there's a great deal of uncertainty here. It is the intention of this committee to fix that uncertainty and actually provide a sound legal basis for this. So let me get into your rulemaking process.
So it looks like, at least on this theatrical part of it anyways, that they're starting to put the screws to Gary a little bit here. Long overdue. He never provides anything for value as far as answers go. It's just more spin, but it's good to see him getting some pressure. I think they noted in here it's been over a year and a half since he's appeared in front of them. So yeah, he gets met with some hostility here today, and rightfully so. Like I said, at the end, I'm going to close out with 5 minutes of him just getting roasted. If you don't want to make it to the end of the video, at least fast forward for that part. Breaking: SEC charges Bittrex with operating an unlicensed security exchange, names 6 cryptocurrencies as securities, including OMG, Dash, Algo, TKN, NGC, and IHT. And Coreum Power tweeted here, "See you, America. Crypto innovation and coming dollar collapse will bring your country back to the 90s." And shared the letter from Bittrex. Interesting. Like, while in operation, Bittrex provided a trading platform for digital assets. Securities were not offered or traded on Bittrex, nor did Bittrex offer any products that were investment contracts. For over 5 years, despite multiple specific requests to do so, the SEC would not provide notice of the specific conduct that it thought violated federal securities laws. Specifically, on multiple occasions, we asked them to tell us what digital assets on our platform they viewed as securities so that we could review and potentially delist them. They refused to do so. Bittrex operated within the parameters of the law at all times. We look forward to vindicating our position in court. The SEC's actions will directly and substantially harm U.S. customers and U.S. employees in the industry and will ultimately put our country at a significant disadvantage in the development of blockchain technology, including uses far beyond cryptocurrency in the future. And I couldn't agree more. So good on Bittrex for saying it how it is. It's just brutal how the U.S. government is treating the crypto industry. You know, part of that I think is just the old system has too much money intertwined with our current government officials, at least on the American stand front. It looks to me like a controlled destruction from what I can see. So then, on the flip side here, I watched this interview with Real Vision Crypto, Raul Paul. Always love his insights on the macro end of things. And he brought on these two gentlemen from Brett and Greg from Coinbase. Great interview, hour long. Highly recommend it. Check it out. I'll try and remember to put a link in the video or in the description below here. But yeah, a lot of value out of this video here. They point out like 25% of the world's largest hedge funds are already onboarded and active on Coinbase. And BlackRock and Apollo are already here. There's just a lot to unpack in this video. Sovereign wealth funds, they feel, are the next big move of money into the crypto space. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Saudi Arabia, Singapore are really leading the push on that. So yeah, a lot of good value here, but this quick little part here I'm going to share, and no, I'm not going to share the last 24 minutes of this. It's just a couple minutes, but I think this is an important few minutes here.
This conversation to me is, it's a funny thing in crypto when you say we're building an institutional business. You could ask 10 different people that question and get 10 different answers. I think for us, it really is a very fulsome, from prop and high frequency trading, which is where the first to come in, that were important to building exchange liquidity and connecting global markets, the same thing they did in every other liquid sort of asset class, but bringing real capital I institutions is the word we like to use into the space, which is the next wave of this, which I think is the next sort of foundation for crypto overall. I think that we're focused on that in a way that maybe others aren't, or able to enable, just because of who we are and as a public company and transparent and all of those things, that we're uniquely able to bring some of that capital into the space. And so I think that when we say institution, we really mean everything from HFT to corporate pension endowment, investment manager, large hedge funds. And that's a different client demographic.
Yeah, and I've looked at this and try to solve some of the same things in a less complex way than you have. I just thought, well, I know how this business works. Everyone starts with the VC. Some people buy the underlying, but generally people are lazy, so they go to the hedge funds. Hedge funds are complicated, so just do a fund of funds. It'll work in this space because there's enough performance, and it doesn't work in equity long short anymore. So that happens. And I look at the hedge fund space, and the real opportunity to me is like, well, the hedge fund space globally is $3 trillion. The hedge fund space in crypto right now is maybe 4 billion, 5 billion. Now Alan's launched, Brevenhound Digital, and Alan's the first institutional product that's been built properly as a hedge fund. Others have come from the weeds up, but he's built, the whole thing using his platform. I just think that's super interesting. The hedge fund space, as we all know from the days of old in our previous lives, is actually the glue that drives all of this and builds the liquidity, and then everything gets built on top. And that's not to say it's built on top of leverage. Half of these guys are not using leverage, but they're creating liquidity in ways that buy and hold institutions don't.
Yeah, and then just layer on top of that, Raul, the Aladdin product, right? So that gives 30 trillion of capital the access to allocate to crypto, right? Through Aladdin. So BlackRock by themselves are circa 10, I think somewhere 20-ish trillion. So you're talking about 300-ish clients of Aladdin that could, at the press of a button now, be able to actually engage in a familiar and known way on a trusted pipe, the ability to allocate and trade a BTC USD in the same way they would trade GBP USD, right? Yeah. How cool is that? And so I think that
$30 trillion, guys. And that's just one piece of the puzzle. So there's a lot on the line here. It's important our communities stay vigilant and stay on top of the policies that are being proposed, the politicians that are proposing them, and the institutions and companies that are trying to build and take us to a better place and a better system. There was a impromptu Twitter space last night. I was able to record that. I'll be uploading it after I get this video uploaded. So if you prefer to watch it on YouTube, or you don't have Twitter, or whatever the case is, I will make that available. It was coin holder Michael from Solargenic, Core Council, showed up and had a great Twitter space. A lot of valuable information in there. Talked about the LEAP AMA coming up here. There's discussion of Coinholder was discussing about a large AI project that's potentially going to be building on Coreum here soon. The hackathon coming up, and more hackathons to follow up based on that same project building on Coreum. Very interesting sounding. Great community building project from the sounds of it. These hackathons, right off the bat here at least, are going to be focusing on smart token technology. Coreum Punk's NFT project was announced by the Core Council last night in this Twitter space. So yeah, lots on there. Going to be uploading that video later tonight, so it will be on YouTube in the interview section on my channel. So keep your eye open for that. And Elon was having a little fun with my Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. They were upset by the 70% government funded, so they corrected the label. So Elon changed it to 69% government funded media. It's hilarious to see all these news agencies kick and scream, and the CBC is since saying they're not going to use the Twitter platform anymore because of this. And it's just bizarre. It's just absolutely bizarre that if you're that offended by the label of being government funded, then just quit taking the government funds, for crying out loud. Like, it's obvious. We all know it. So I don't know why we should be anybody should be outraged by having that title there. But anyways, if that's all CBC's got to worry about, then we'll all be okay. And Crypto Airy, great XRP Ledger YouTuber, had Chris Dangerfield on, an XRPL developer, and they put out this tweet here saying, if you're a builder or have a channel to host a developer-focused show, reach out to either one of us or drop a comment here. So I certainly did do both. I really agree with what Chris says here, is that there are ripple size companies to come. The XRP Ledger building is just starting. Some look at it as maybe way too late. I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of good things ahead for the XRP Ledger. I think it's going to grow well beyond Ripple and its use cases. And it's just exciting to see, and I'm hoping to be part of that. I'm hoping to document that. So I certainly offer my channel to anybody developing on XRP Ledger, Coreum, Cosmos, Hedera, whatever you are, whatever your project is. If you need a place to let the community know about it, drop me a line, send me a message, email me, coreumconcepts@gmail. I'm more than happy to give you a platform to do that. And guys, I'm just going to do my best to help people share with the community. I'm not trying to profit off of any of them. None of these would be seen as an endorsement in any way. I'm just merely trying to give them a platform to get the word out, because there's a lot of great building going on in the background that a lot of people don't know about. And I think it's important that if they need a voice or a platform to get the word out. I know I just got a small channel, but it's growing, and I do have great group of followers that support the XRP ledger, the Coreum network, and Sologenic, and Cosmos, and Hedera, and other chains. It's going to be an interoperable future. There's no room for tribalism here. We're all going to work together and come out on the other side a better place than what we found it here, hopefully. So the offer's out there. Anybody listening to this, or if you're listening to this and know somebody that has a project that they want to get the word out on, send them my way. Be more than happy to hear them. If it's anything to do with community building, you'll definitely have priority to get the word out, because that's what my channel is all about, is building and growing communities and getting other communities to work together, because we want this to be a hub for all communities to come and grow and build and share and exchange ideas, and in a positive way. And disagreeing doesn't have to be a problem. And I shared a quote a while back: just because we disagree doesn't mean we have to be disagreeable. In the course of debate and exchange of ideas, there's going to be disagreements. It's important to be respectful, professional, and that way everybody involved feels that they have a proper place and platform to share their ideas with. So I'll leave that for today. I'm going to be working on live stream again here tonight. Got another thing I'm working on. So yeah, I'm just going to leave the GOP Majority Whip torching Gary Gensler and highlighting his and the SEC's complete and utter failure to protect any retail investors whatsoever. This is 5 minutes of Gary just getting roasted, and I'm sure there's plenty in the community that would like to at least see that happen once in a while, and know that it's not all just roses for him. I'm sure some part of it though is all theater. At the end of this, I'm sure there's a bit of backslapping. Let's go for a drink too, but just the same, it's good that this side of the story and narrative is getting out there. Something seems to have changed out there. I don't follow U.S. politics closely enough to speculate of what's changed the tide here of them holding Gary accountable, but I'm just glad to see it's happening. So anyways, guys, that's it for today. If I provided you some value, again, please hit that like button. And if you're new here, first time here, or haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps so much to get the message out and get the channel growing, and the community growing alongside of it too. So thank you everybody for all your support. Peace and prosperity, y'all.
Chair Gensler, I have a lot of questions in a limited amount of time, so if you could keep your answers to either a yes or a no, that will allow us to get through as many as possible, sir. From your perspective, is it more difficult now for the digital asset industry to access financial products and services in the United States than it was, say, 2 years ago?
Sir, I'm not running one of those businesses. If they came into compliance, I think
Reclaiming my time. The answer, sir, is yes. Do you think you and the SEC have had a role to play in that?
I think we have a role to protect the American investor and the capital markets. And
Reclaiming my time, sir. You have played an obvious role in that. During your tenure at the SEC, how many rules has the SEC finalized that actually accommodate the existing regulatory framework and are specifically to the digital asset industry so the crypto market can come into compliance?
It's our rule books that are on the books for years, so we have not finalized any new rule specifically with regard to crypto. We've proposed some things in best execution. We've also...
Sir, reclaiming my time, the answer is zero. And how many enforcement actions has the SEC levied against digital asset companies during your tenure, sir?
I think it's probably 40 or 50.
The answer, sir, is about 55. My understanding is that the biggest crypto failure in history is probably FTX at $9 billion. Were you the chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
Yes.
And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
I think my public record shows 2.
You met it with FTX at least twice. And arguably, the second biggest crypto failure in history was Terra Luna. Who was the chairman of the SEC when Terra Luna collapsed, sir?
We had brought...
You were, sir, reclaiming my time. You were. There are 5 members on the commission. Do you believe your speeches and interviews are to serve as the official position of the SEC?
I can only speak for myself when I'm speaking.
Again, sir, in a statement on the SEC website, you are quoted saying the Kraken staking as a service enforcement action should make clear to the marketplace that staking as a service providers must register. But again, you haven't provided any rules for how that can be done. I must remind you, your public statements are not regulations. It's not responsible to expect the American people to assume your statements are a substitute for rules. Do you agree with this statement regarding the digital asset industry? The SEC needs additional congressional authorities to prevent transactions, products, and platforms from falling between the regulatory cracks.
I think that it's a largely non-compliant field. And
Sir,
we could use
again,
additional
I asked you to comply with my questions, and I'm asking you if you agree with that quote. And I'm going to tell you, I'm quoting you from an August 3rd, 2021 article where you, and I believe you told Congressman Hill earlier that you need congressional authority to regulate stablecoins, and stablecoins happen to be a significant percentage of the crypto market. So the question is, when were you telling the truth? To Mr. Hill or to me? You've got to start answering these questions in a more transparent manner, sir. Does it concern you, by the way, that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States?
We're trying to drive it to compliance, and if they're not complying with the laws, then they shouldn't be offering their products.
Reclaiming my time.
Investors.
Madam Chair, I would like to enter into the record this Wall Street Journal article from April 14th, 2023, detailing China's ploy to open its banking system to crypto firms in an effort to seize an opportunity created by our hostile regulatory environment, which, Mr. Chair, you're a big part of.
Without
Look,
objection.
Chair Gensler, FTX was domiciled abroad and so is Binance, yet American consumers still had access to both. You can't really think that pushing this industry abroad is going to protect American consumers when it hasn't several times in the past on your watch. You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies, and following them would actually kill these businesses. Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing nothing to protect everyday Americans and pushing American firms into the hands of the CCP. Your intention to work against SEC mission and put American investors in harm's way has been made very apparent, sir. It's been a year and a half since you've appeared before this committee. You need to answer to Congress about the issues that you've had with the SEC staff union, the work environment you've cultivated at the SEC that's led to hemorrhaging of senior staff, the intellectual inconsistency of your regulatory treatment towards Bitcoin spot ETFs, and your politicization of capital formation opportunities
Gentleman's time
through your
has
treatment
expired.
of certain SPACs. And that's just to name a few.